Check, check. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sitting on the ramp here in Lost Wages, Nevada, 5:30 in the morning. It's already 90 degrees outside. It's going to be a hot one, and it's going to get even hotter in the flight deck, chat, because today we're doing the infamous failure stream. Now, we got a couple things on the plate that I need to get checked off just to kind of get me back in the swing of things. So there's going to be some nuisance warnings, some nuisance failures. It's just kind of get me back in the mindset of training and digging through the book. So while I know you guys enjoy these streams also are a help to me to kind of get me in the habit of digging through the ECAMs, the comms, the QRHs, things of that nature. So my chatting will probably be limited, but I will do my best to still be engaged with the chat when I can. But this is round one in failures with the Fenix 320, and boy do we have some doozies lined up today on this one already. So I'm not going to spoil all the fun just yet. But I can tell you, Amir's probably not going to be happy with what we're going to do to his little baby jet here. So it should be fun. Hopefully we don't crash. We have crashed on this before. That was really kind of, my fault for trying to put the airplane like a deep stall and direct law at, 2,000 feet above the ground. We ended up in a swimming pool. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But this one should be good. I do go to the sim next week, so this is kind of to knock the rust off. And then later this week, I'm thinking Thursday, Friday, we'll have one of those days we'll actually have our, like check ride in the sim to kind of tie it all together. This one is to get the rust knocked off, like I said. So Zach Contrabasso, good to see my man. 21 months of the support. Midnight here in Korea, almost 2 years, loving BFU. Yeah, man, the BFU is fantastic. So absolutely been loving the BFU and what they've accomplished here. So we're gonna take it to a whole nother level of enjoying it and just break it. So I hope you guys are ready for the ride. Turk, what's up, man? Good to see us. This is so like a full flap stream, limited reading capabilities. Indeed. The update is game-changing. Phoenix is too good. Sam, I'm right there with you, man. There is nothing better than the Fenix 320 as far as jetliners are concerned, man. There's just nothing better. So we're here on the ramp. Let's go ahead and get started. We're at Hotel de Adobo, Las Vegas, because the Las Vegas airport in Vegas is absolutely terrible, but nothing really works. So we'll do our little pre-flight walk around here. We've got the toe pin there. Remember, you're looking for any gear pin covers or anything like that.
Bank angle.
Hot Vegas and failures sounds like a need for a giant supply of coffee or your beverage of choice. Here you go,
Callie Simmer, thank you so much for the bank angle check. Indeed. I'm going to be banking that coffee for the next stream as well. After this stream, we're going to be headed down to South America with the IAE shark-lidded Avianca for the Pasto Challenge V2. So thank you so much, Callie Simmer. Appreciate that bank angle check. I'm going to need some iced coffee for that because it's a little bit too spicy out here already. It's 90 by 9. You know it's going to be a hot one. So thank you so much, Callie Sim. I really do appreciate that. All right, taking a look at our engine here. What are we stuck on? I'm stuck on a little something. Ooh, we'll spin our fan blades. I love how you can only spin it on the bottom because you can't reach it anywhere else. Gosh, that looks so real. How fast can you get it going? Absolutely love it. Now, get off there. Stuck on that engine. All right, cool. Come around the bottom of the wing here. We're looking for overpressure vents. All right, everything looks good. How many fuel pumps do we have on the A320 series aircraft, chat? Do you guys remember from we talked about this the other day? Coming around here, I guess we'll pull the chocks. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, you have to pull all of them? I don't want to do that. Let's put it back. We'll just pull them from the EFB because I'll leave one. Let's see. There's our brake calipers right there. See all these pucks are, looks like they're engaged. We got our wear pins. That looks good. 9, 5, 6. Yeah, virtually united pilot. Technically 9. Tango's correct. Technically 9. But there are 7 tank pumps. So you got 4 in each wing, and then you have 3 on each wing, and then an APU fuel pump, which is 7, and then 2 engine-driven pumps, technically 9. All right. Doing our little pre-flight. Everything else looks good up here. And make sure our THS is reset to 0. Yes, it is. We are rocking the Fenix livery today because, I don't know, I feel like if I were to accidentally crash this and we were sporting some airliner livery, it might not be the best, you know, thing to do. So we're going to just rock the old Fenix livery. Again, checking up under our wings here. The ailerons are drooping down, looking good. We got a cold and dark airplane. Yes, there is new sounds, Logan. There is new sounds. So we're doing something a little different today, too. And it's normally we do these failure streams in the wingtip Fence 320, but we're actually using the Sharklet because in the sim this year, they are actually assigning. So depending on what you draw, you will be assigned either a wingtip fenced aircraft, a Sharklet aircraft, or you could actually be assigned a Neo aircraft. It all depends on when you show up for training. So we're just going to rock the 320 Sharklet today. All right, we'll go ahead and jump into the cockpit here. Aircraft looks good. I love this. Is exactly what it sounds like when you walk on down an empty airplane. I absolutely love that. This guy must have had boots on. It's perfect. All right, come onto the airplane. Couple things we'll check. You know, we'll check for all our documents and all that into the cockpit. We'll make sure we have all the gear pins and covers that are hidden down there. Do all our checks. We'll kind of save that for the LOE prep. But anyway, is there a preference that I'd want? A preference that I'd want for for the sim? You know what? Honestly, Pax, man, I really don't have I would like to do a Neo just because I have never done recurrent with a Neo sim. It's always been a classic 320. It's just, at least for us this year, we actually have the option. You don't get to choose, like I said, but normally it's always just been a straight 320 classic. That's what the initial type was on. That's what all the recurrent is on. But now they're opening it up because they actually have some sims that are capable of running the Neo stuff, which is kind of neat. So, all right, up to the overhead. Let's get this bird powered up. 25.5 volts or greater than 25.5. So you need 25.6 volts. We'll go ahead, hit the power button. We'll get the aircraft coming to life. If you guys have not seen Mr. Saturday's trailer hype video for the Fenix BFU, you have to go check it out because it's absolutely fantastic. Anyone having issues with their wind wing peripherals? I've heard a couple of people having issues, 3 Romeo Whiskey, but I don't have any wind wing stuff, so unfortunately I can't help you there, my man. How does the new flight model feel compared to the real thing? Definitely a lot different. It feels really good. It feels really good, Tom. I said it before. I mean, even the old one, I think, was as close as we were to the real thing as far as sims are concerned. But now this takes it to a whole nother level. Fenix, in my opinion, has always been pretty much the #1 in terms of recreating what the actual Airbus feels like in real life. So it's just they keep moving the bar farther and farther forward. Moby Flightworks, wind wing updated yesterday, or wind wing update apparently. Okay, good to hear it, Turk. Good to hear it. All right, let's go ahead and begin our overhead flow. Let's get the cruise supply oxygen on. It's kind of dim in here. We'll get some integral lights up. We'll get the ground control on. We'll do the CVR test. We'll get the captain purr switch to captain. We'll get the ADIRS into alignment mode. Something that we have to be cautious of now is we start operating in hot climates. So we have to leave the flaps for us. It's 37 degrees C. After 37, we leave flaps 1+F. It also says that you're not supposed to turn all 3 ADIRS off with the flaps in position greater than 0. So if you have the flaps in 1+F, you can't do a full realignment by turning all 3 of the ADIRS off at the same time. So you actually have to do 2, let it set, then go back on, and then turn the third one off if the flaps are in position 1. That's kind of a gotcha that's going on right now because you can damage the rudder travel limit unit system by resetting the ADIRS by shutting all 3 to off with the flaps in position 1. So just kind of a little hot topic safety thing going around right now. We'll get the strobe position 1. We'll get nav into position 1. No smoking auto. Arm the emergency exit lights. While we're looking at it, cabin mode pressurization selector. We have 3 modes, right? So let's review that. We've got the auto mode, which is what everybody flies in. We have the semi-auto mode, whereas if the airport we were going to is not in the airport database, but everything is working, this knob actually pulls down and slides out. We could say, oh, we're going to land at this field. That's at 1,800 feet field elevation. So now we've manually set a field elevation for an airport that's not in the database. Pressurization will still be automatic, but that's not the case today. The third mode, of course, is going into full-on manual mode where you will control the man vertical speed by controlling the outflow valve with the switch on the overhead. Good luck. You'll probably pop your ears. Follow the ECAM if the procedure permits. So there's 3 different modes there with the cabin pressure. Continuing on here, we've got the 2 pack fault lights. That is normal. They're in the auto position. It's hotter than Hades down here. Let's get this into cold mode for right now. We know the battery test would fail if we tested it because we just booted up the airplane. We'll leave it off. Let's do engine fire test 1. Engine fire test 2. APU fire test. Beautiful. Up the right-hand side of the overhead. We don't test the cargo smoke. That is a maintenance function. Everything looks good on the right-hand side. And beautiful. Let's go ahead and begin initializing the aircraft. Let's do an init request. Let's come over here. Our flight that we have planned is going to have us going from Las Vegas to Sacramento. We'll just do a fast time. Las Vegas to Sacramento. But spoiler alert, we're probably not going to get there, right? So with that said, we'll come down here. We'll check a couple other things. We'll do the status recall. That's all normal. We'll take a look at the engine page. How many quarts of oil do we need? So it's either 16 or 14.5, depending on temperature for the Neos. For the CEO aircraft, it's actually 11.5 plus 1/2 quart per hour of flight time. So we've plenty of oil. So that looks good. We'll turn the engine page off. Make sure our pressurization, since we just messed with it, is in the auto position, which it is. All right, cool. Everything else looks good. Transponder standby 2000. Let's go outside, do our pre-flight. FO already did that. So let's get this thing rocking and rolling. We're going to be Fenix 357 today, alternate of Oakland. Cost index, we'll just call it 55. Cruise altitude, let's call it 300. Ground temp is 28 degrees. Tropo, I don't know what it is. It's not on the paperwork. Here's our route of flight. So we're going to do a real-world diff strip today. So I normally do real-world stuff here, but I kind of abbreviate a lot of stuff for sim purposes. Can you do compressor stall through the EFB? I don't believe so, Atul, but you can do bird failures or bird strikes, and I was able to strike the engine twice, and on the second strike it failed. I don't know. It'd be cool to do a bird strike with a failure combined. I don't know. I might have to mess around with it a little bit more, but that's all I've kind of messed with. Oh, okay, remind me on the taxi out. There's something that I wanted to do before we do a diff strip here. So there is, I've been noticing, I've been trying to think of little tests we could do, because I know eventually we're going to have to do another, like, FS Labs versus Phoenix Showdown again, right, for keeps. And so when I've been at work, I've been thinking, what are some little things that the airplane does that's kind of nuanced that I want to test in the sim? I've got one that I want to test. I haven't tested it in any airplane yet, but when we're taxiing, I've noticed this a lot because I spend a lot of time on the Echo Sierra route in DFW. When you're taxiing with the taxi light on, we got 2 engines running, APU's off, and we shut down engine 2 for single engine taxi. During the bus transfer, the taxi light flashes. I want to see if that's simulated. I'd be very curious to see if that's simulated. So, like, as the bus transfers, the taxi light will flash in the real airplane. Remind me to see if we can check that on the way out here. All right. Anyway, real world diff strip. Let's go ahead and get into here. Do you have to have engine oil memorized? It's the front of the QRH for us. Yes, we have to have it memorized, Sam. That is correct. All right. Do you notice the elevators move slower on the control check? I swear, yes. And I feel like they move at an accurate speed, Sam. I feel like they move at an accurate speed now. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and get this. A real-world diff strip. We're going to plan 26 right. We're on the Joker 5 departure out to the Kino transition. We'll insert that. Sacramento, I'm not going to get too crazy about it. Let's just plan arrival. ILS 2, no star. Insert, we'll leave it as is. Secondary is complete. Primary. The secondary flight plan in Vegas is much different than what you've probably seen me do here on the channel. So we have an EO SID. I don't know if you can read that. I know I can't read it from there. I'm going to have to read it from mine. I took a picture of my iPad. So we have to actually, this is what we would program in the box in Vegas if we were doing this real world. So the reason we come back here for training is because it also shows kind of your programming of the box and managing the secondary flight plan. So to do the secondary out of Vegas, we're going to we're going to make a couple of waypoints. Let me pull up mine so I can read mine a little bit better. All right, so if we look at the complex special for 26 right, it shows you the departures. We're on the Joker RNAV. We've got 3 different configurations here. We've got below 4,000, above 4,000 before cells, at or after cells. So the most complex failure here for us out of Vegas is below 4,000 feet. We need to climb at V2 via runway heading. At 2.9 from Vegas, we make a right turn to 035, reaching 3,200 feet. We'll level off, accelerate to green dot, then continue climb. At 13 DME from Vegas, 13.5 from the ILAS local, right turn heading 100, reaching 5,900, continue climb, request radar Vegas, Rougeau nav. Basically, my brief goes like this. Hey, if I'm a pilot flying and I'm briefing the first officer, hey, if we lose an engine, we have complex special, it's in the secondary, I'll fly the aircraft, you back me up on what we need to do with the EO SID, okay? Because trying to memorize that, write it down, you're gonna screw things up. So, but there is a way we can make this, we can build this, and it's very easy to build, and it'll really help you out in terms of situational awareness. So the first thing we need to do is put the Las Vegas VOR 259, and you'll notice there I even wrote, if PBD is 15 miles and 03, you see in my green highlighter there, because I actually determined where I need to put the PBDs to match up with the DMEs from the VOR. So even though my PBD says 15 and the distance is 13 on the chart, if I make a PBD off of PBD01, it will line up with the fixed ring, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So just bear with me. Las Vegas 259 at 3. All right, that's our first fix. Las Vegas VOR 16.9. So we've created PBD01. We're going to make that an overfly waypoint because we have to fly over that first fix. There's our nav accuracy upgrade. So now, after PBD01, what does the chart say? It says a right turn. So we're going to build a right turn from PBD01 that we just created, and we're going to turn right heading 035, and I'm going to take that out to 15 nautical miles. That's now PBD02. After reaching PBD02, we continue out on a heading. So let's go ahead and make one more, PBD02 now. After 02, we're going to take heading 100, and there's no DME requirement. Let's just put 15 miles on it. All right. So now, if we look at our secondary flight plan, you can see we've essentially created the engine out procedure. Now, you can nav it up, but you don't have to. As long as you're complying with the SID, the design of the SID is to keep you clear of terrain when you're struggling to climb out of Vegas because it's pretty dang hot, all right? Now, there are some other engine out SIDs that get very complex that are selectable in the nav database, which is much nicer. Las Vegas, however, is not. We do have to build this. The other stipulation here is at or above 4,000 feet if you lose an engine, we're just going to continue on the SID, then we'll climb and hold. At or after cells, we just stay in the hold, all right? But we've got the engine out programmed, all right? Then we're going to want to come back, right? We're going to want to come back to the ILS Zulu 26 left, secondary perf. We'll go ahead and load this up for real because this is real world stipulation here. Temperature is 28. We'll zero out the winds. And the QNH right now, if I do a magic BRF, is 1016, which I'm going to sync up to HG, which is 3000. 3000. And then now I got to look up the baro mins for the ILS Zulu 26 left, and that is going to be 2269 in the baro, 2269. All right, 2269 in the baro set. All right, secondary is pretty much completed, but a couple other things we're going to do before we finish our flight plan. Let's throw in some fixed info rings. We know that there is a ring Las Vegas at 3 miles, right? And then we're going to see where our PBDs are. So we'll put a radius at 3. We're going to create another PBD, or excuse me, I keep saying PBD, another fixed info, Las Vegas, and then this one, according to the EO SID, was 13. And that's from Las Vegas, right? Correct. So we got boom, boom. So now, if we take a look, let's see if I can zoom in here. Let's go back to the secondary flight plan. You'll see, look, PBD01 is right there bang on at the 3 mile DME from Las Vegas VOR. If I zoom out to the next fix, we're supposed to go out to 13 DME, which is where we have the ring, and look at my PBD02, it's right on the ring. Even though my PBD is a 15 DME, that just means I got bored one day when we were flying into Vegas and I decided, okay, how can I how can I program the box to be exactly like the fixed info rings? That's why I wrote it on the chart there. That's my real world chart, by the way. That's a picture from my actual chart in Vegas. All right. So our EO SID is complete. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. We've got our flight plan completed. Secondary is done. RadNav, there is some things to hard tune. I'm going to hard tune the Las Vegas VOR, and I'm also going to hard tune the Las Vegas localizer in case for some reason I lost it. If you notice on the SID, the DMEs, the distances were based off of two things, the Las Vegas VOR and the localizer of ILS in case you lose the Las Vegas DME. So we got both hard tuned in case we need it. Progress page will be Las Vegas. Boom. Perf. We'll go leave that blank. Init B. Are we done fueling? We are. 12.9. That's going here. Block fuel. Make sure it is balanced. It is. Let's get the APU up and cooking. And let's go ahead and get ready to get out of here. We'll prime you up. Seatbelts are coming on. Boarding is complete. We'll send the weights to the McDo. That leaves us to perf takeoff. We'll come back over here. Stand by. Beautiful. Hour extra gas. We'll configure that. Fire up the APU and let's go. Sun is rising. It's a beautiful day. Nightbot is already a failure. What? Nightbot didn't join? I thought Nightbot was here. Nightbot's here. Unfathomable says at this rate, Phoenix will give us a maintenance simulator. We're pretty close, man. Alonzo, what's up, man? Wait, there's a 320 floating to the left of us? Where? Oh, wow, look at that. That's bizarre. Oh, look at that sunrise. All right, APU is up and running. Chrono's coming on. We'll get constraints modes on. Let's go ahead and get our top altitude. We'll just call it 10,000 feet. 10,000 is set. Let's send for perf. Las Vegas 26 right. We'll sync final. Chat, we do have to flex on this one. We'll go ahead and calculate the numbers. Flex of 66. We'll send this to the McDo. So we've got 46, 46, 47, flaps 1. Flex of 66, down 0.1 on the trip. All right. Flex numbers are set. We'll simulate that it's been 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and get that disconnected. We'll get the APU bleed on. And with all of that completed, let's go ahead and close up the aircraft here. Chocks, stairs, GPU, connect the tug. I knew Las Vegas had elevation issues, but damn, yeah, I know, dude. I don't know why is Las Vegas so cursed, right? It's just cursed, man. Assuming the maintenance will be awesome, kind of what Flight Factor is with the 777 V2. Nice. All right, we'll also have terrain up on ND. We got a company message here. Let's go ahead and get you taken care of. And we're going to get on our way. +6. Estimating 132.4. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground. Ready for brake release? Hey, affirmative, brakes released. You're cleared to push. Going 26 right. All right, in the push. Let's go. Our corporate SOP is very different compared to airliners. Every SOPs are different depending on where you go, man. 2 airlines have very different SOPs, so everything is different. What is going on here with my tug driver? That was a weird push. Does he want me to just make the turn out from right here? I think we're going to just have to make the turn out. Well, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. All right. Is there a good Vegas payware? Man, if you find one, let me know. Vegas has been cursed forever. I'm so tired of the Fly Tampa one with incorrect elevation. They're like, oh, it's the sim. I'm like, no, every other scenery in the world doesn't have the problem with terrain. You need to figure out your glide slope. They just quit. I have had a tug driver quit on me before. After they pushed us into a catering truck. So, realism. Alright, pushback complete, set brakes. Brakes are set, clear to disconnect, show me the pin out front. We're going to go ahead and start them up. Let's go ahead and start engine 1. Beacon is on. Here we go, turning engine 1. Engine mode to ignition start. And here we go. Hear the pack cut out? Oh, that's awesome. Why don't they provide pre-built procedure that you can pick? Because it costs money, probably. So, Flight Sim School, we have some. There are certain airports where the procedure is selectable in the FMS. Reno, Tahoe being one of them, which is extremely complex, which we might do on Thursday or Friday. Hanging out, got COVID? Maybe it's time to get 24 and download all the things. Oh yeah, fly fishing with Bree? Sounds about right, my man. Good start on 1. We're doing 2-engine taxi. We need a 5-minute warm-up. Here we go. Starting 2. Every stream needs at least one Alpha Zulu 77. Alpha Zulu 77. Never forget. Yeah, Atul, we are going to do a RTO probably towards the end of the stream. I think we have a hung start, chat. So we have a hung start. Now this is an auto start. Will it auto abort on a hung start? Install host on flight facing the first one not idle. It's at idle. If the engine does not start, cage setting to overheat, Fenix will immediately shut off fuel and turn off ignition. After any start attempt that is not successful, a dry crank automatically occurs. At the end of the dry crank, since start valve is closed, ECAM space follow auto crank in progress. Okay, so we had a failed start. We should have had an ECAM there, I believe. That was a hung start for sure. Yeah, because that should have tripped the start fault and then dry crank in progress. One dry crank. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my engine 2 start fault. No ignition, no N1 rotation, stall, EGT over limit, or hung start on ground during an auto start. If the engine does not start or in case of detected stall, potential EGT overheat or hung start, the FADEC will immediately shut off fuel and turn off ignition. After any start attempt that is not successful, a dry crank automatically occurs. At the end of the dry crank, Sequence. The start valve is closed. ECAM displays auto crank in progress. It did not. When dry crank process is completed, it did not. Now we got to consult the manual for starter limitations. And so, because we're going to have to do a manual engine start. Alright, standard start out includes only one start attempt is considered one cycle. For ground starts, automatic or manual, a 15-second pause is required between successive cycles. 30-minute cooling period after 3 failed cycles. So technically we'd have 2 cycles, because if this happened in real world, we'd have a failed start, a dry crank, that's 2. So we need 15 seconds, and then we can continue to do a manual start. Or if it's 4 minutes of continuous crank or 5 minutes accumulated crank, we need a 30-minute cooldown. For a manual start, do not exceed 2-minute maximum cycle time. The starter must not be run when N2 is above 10% on the ground, 18% in flight. So we're going to have to do a manual engine start. Before we do that, let's clear the failure. So let's come on down to start faults, engine 2 hung start. Let's go ahead and clear that, apply changes. And now we're going to consult a manual engine start. So we've waited our 15 seconds. We don't have 4 minutes of a cumulus crank, but now we're going to do a manual engine start. So let's proceed to the manual engine start. On ground for manual start, off, and start off. Mode select crank, which we don't need to do because it would have been already auto cranked. We're going to skip the manual cranking. Alright. So we're going to simulate that the auto crank is completed. So now we're going straight to manual engine start. When expecting a start aboard because of all conditions to be considered together, blah, 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 blah. Engine manufacturer recommends the use of manual engine start when OAT is at 40C and above, which we're getting close in the summertime. Alright, during a manual engine start, the flight crew suspects an engine start malfunction, or if an engine-related ECAM alert is triggered, the FO must abort the start sequence as follows. Brief the FO. Okay, thrust levers, confirm idle, idle. The engine start regardless of thrust lever position. If the thrust levers are not set to idle, the thrust rapidly increases to the corresponding thrust lever, causing a hazardous situation. Engine mode selector. Norm, then ignition start. Alright, when all engine parameters except N1 and N2 are available, which they are, chrono start, and start valve check inline after we push the man start push button. So man start push button, that's associated. Man start push button number 2, push, chrono, N2 increase. It's increasing. If the N2 does not reach 16%, it already has exceeded that. When the N2 reaches max motoring speed, 16%, or 30 seconds after the engine man start push button, engine master on. 10 more seconds. Engine 2 master on. Check igniters A and B. We got both ignitions A and B. Fuel flow increase. With the current EEC standard, the fuel flow indication spiking occurs at fuel on. Just noted. 20 seconds maximum after fuel flow increase. EGT increase check N1 before 34% N2 check. Looks like it's starting normally. When N2 reaches 43%, which we've already exceeded, igniters A and B are off. Start valve slide left check cross line. It is. Engine parameters normal. There's a bus transfer. Engine man start push button off. When no other engine requires to be started manually, shedded system resorts SOP engine start resume. Alright, so after start as normal. That's coming back to there. We'll turn you off. We'll go ahead and arm you. We're doing a flaps 1. Speed checks, flaps 1. APU bleed, that's coming off, and that's coming off. Alright, we are trimmed down 0.1%. Down 0.1 is set. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Can't get it to 0.1. There we go. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. full right. Neutral. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. Phoenix ground. Or, Vegas ground, Phoenix 357 taxi. Phoenix 357 taxi, 26 right. Alright, out to 26 right we go. Brakes are released. We're rolling. Got flight control ELAC 2 fault. Alright, tow ground, we need to stop somewhere. Alright, so we would stop. Set the brake, that's coming off. Alright. Flight control ELAC 2 fault. ELAC 2 off, then on. ELAC 2 off, then on. No more faults. Let me check the QRH. Might have just had to do a reset. System reset. Auto flight. Flight control. On ground. Reset. Successful. No defaults noted. No write-up is required. Cool. We've already done our reset. Let's go ahead. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config check. And tow ground, we can continue taxi. We're going to go 1. Auto. TARA. That's on. Let's go. Man, IAE sounds are pretty dang good. Steven, I actually don't know. So this is our first year where I'm going to Recurrent, where a Neo sim is actually available. So all my recurrents have always been in just a classic 320. But this year we actually have 3 options. We got a 320 wingtip fence, like the old school. We have a 320 Sharklet and a Neo aircraft. The Sharklet one's really not a big deal. It's just kind of it's just for like placard stuff. I don't even know if they changed the sim for that one, to be honest with you. So really only 2 options. Normally it's always just been a classic CEO in the sim. All right, clear left. How often do you fly the Airbus in real life? Every week. Taxi light bus transfer now or later? Let's do it later, Tango. I'm going to we'll go to night mode, and then we'll, actually, I don't know. Let's try it right now. What the hell? Because I actually want to try it, because this is really going to be kind of cool. I'll reset the time. So right now, the time is, what time is it in the sim? It's 5, I don't know what it is, 5:30. Let me go to night mode real quick. Let's try this. So taxi light on. So we're going to simulate that we're switching over to the other generator. Oh my gosh, it flickers. Look at that. That is too cool. So when you shut down engine 2, you would lose the generator and you get the flicker. Alright, that's cool. Why am I not surprised though? But that's just neat to see that that's actually simulated. I don't know what the time was in the sim. Let's put it back, 5:47. Here we go. It doesn't really matter what time it is in the sim, because it helps take a break off. We're not doing anything other than just flying around. It just means I spent too much time Echo Sierra route DFW. Hit the like button if you've ever been on the Echo Sierra route DFW. Extra 35-minute taxi for you. I guess it's better in the Echo route. I actually don't know, Tender. I don't know. I was just thinking of things that I could test, you know, like little off-the-wall things. So now, real world Vegas, this is completely opposite. You're going downhill here and you're cooking. Matt Press, what's up, man? Extra scenic route, exactly. Soon we'll have Airbus doing reference trips to Phoenix HQ. Dude, you know what, AFO? It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Would not surprise me. Alright, so we did a manual engine start. We had a Sec 2, or ELAC 2, whatever it was. We reset that. Everything is good. You're briefed. I'm briefed. Oh, you know what I need to check is our acceleration altitude, because this is the Phoenix livery, and I think the acceleration altitude in the Phoenix livery is different than our company, so let me check. We'll check that real quick here. Holding short of 2.6 right. Every time I come here now, I think about stuck brakes, because this is where I had a locked brake. I had another brake problem the other day, actually. I had a BSCU fault taking the runway. Alright, Phoenix, actually let's just check it in here. 3540, 3540, field of, no, it's got to be 3100. We're going to do 3100 across the board for this particular flight. Alright, 46, 46, 47, flaps down, 0.1. Alright, a Phoenix 357, runway 26 right, RNAV to Rudy. Clear for takeoff. Why are you breaking my brakes? Vegas summertime, I typically do not do rolling takeoffs just because it's so dang hot and you need all that runway you can get. Alright, runway heading 258, that checks. Are y'all ready? Godspeed. Yoga's in chat. Here we go. Spool them up 50. Yoga slash flex, because we're being lame today. Man flex, SRS runway, auto thrust bleu. Golly, those sounds. I don't know how you can make them better, and then you hear them and you're like, yep, that's better than what they were. Thrust set. 100 knots, check. B1. Engine failure. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Nav. Biggest tower, Phoenix 357, engine failure. Going to be proceeding on the EO SID. Phoenix 357, roger. Advise when you need something. I'm not going to do comms because we're going to do a couple things here. Coming up on 400 feet. Select heading. Activate secondary. Manage nav. Alright. 400 feet. MSL. Engine 2 fail. Autopilot 1 is on. Trimmed out. Alright, engine 2 fail. I'm going to go ahead and go into M-Flex. Chrono's on. Or excuse me, Toga. Help us get out of here. Phoenix 357. Come and maintain 5,000. Come and maintain 5,000. Phoenix 357. Alright. Engine 2 fail. Engine mode selector. Ignition. Engine mode selector. Ignition. Thrust lever 2, idle. Confirm thrust lever 2, confirm, idle. Here comes acceleration altitude, stop ECAM, vertical speed 0. Continue ECAM. Engine 2 fail. If no relight after 30 seconds, engine 2 master off. This is where I'm going to select a manual heading here. 035. Kind of keep us just to the left of the city there. All right. S speed, well, not quite. Continue ECAM. If no relight after 30 seconds, engine 2 master off. Confirm engine 2 master. Confirm. Off. There's S speed. Flap 0. Flap 0. Continue ECAM. 3 to 5 prior to green dot, which we're there. Let's pull for open. We're approaching a minute 42 on Toga. I'm also going to keep our speed there right below green dot. Let's go ahead and go MCT now. Thrust MCT, auto thrust. Imbalance monitor, TCAS mode select TA. TA. Alright. If damage, I would consider, I don't want to consider a relight on this one, PSI 0, and for the sake of time, we're going to go 0 on that. So, engine 2 fire push button. Push. Confirm. Engine 2 fire push button. Confirm. Push. Engine 2 shut down. 4 for 5. 1,000 to go. Max speed 240 knots. Avoid icing conditions. Clear engine 2 shut down. Engine 2 fail. Engine 1 discharge. Confirm engine 1. Confirm. Now we should have a pause. Agent 2 discharge. We got something else. Hydraulic yellow reservoir low level. Alright, PTU fault. We'll continue on here. Let's continue flying. Engine 2 fail. Relight consider. We're not considering it. Clear engine 2. Clear engine 2. Speed alt star 5,000. Let's see. Fenix 357. Climb and maintain 7,000. Turn right. Heading 055. 055, climb 7,000. Fenix 357. Thrust MCT, open climb. Alright, we got another problem going on here. Hydraulic yellow reservoir low level. PTU off. Yellow engine 2 pump off. PTU is off. Yellow engine 2 plane. Pump off. Hydraulic yellow reservoir low level. Clear hydraulic, clear hydraulic. We've got a land ASAP message. That means we're declaring an emergency, returning to the field ASAP. Air bleed, electric, flight control, all associated. Bleed page. Bleed 2, or obviously the number 2 bleed is in up. Clear bleed. Electrical. We've got one generator powering the whole system. Let's start the APU. Fenix 357, turn right, heading 090, say intentions. We'd like to come back to Vegas, requesting the ILS 26 left. Roger that. Maintain 090, 7000, let us know when you're ready. Alright, clear electric. Flight control. Because of our hydraulic situation, we're now minimized our flight controls with yellow system is out. Alright, clear flight control. Status page. Stop status. We're going to consider OEBs, do our other checklists. So let's do our after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist, gear is up, flaps are 0. After takeoff checklist is complete. The APU is coming up to life right now. We're headed back. We're not going to do any system resets. I don't want to sit around and mess around with the FCOM. Let's go ahead and get the airplane back on the ground. All right, status. Fuel consumption increased. Avoid icing conditions. If severe icing does not apply. Landing distance procedure apply. If no engine 2 damage, that does not apply. We consider it damage because we just lost all of our hydraulics out the right-hand side as well. So I would consider that we've got some sort of damage going on over there. That sounds like a bus transfer from the APU. All right. Flap slow, Cat 3 single. We have a bunch of in-op systems here we got to deal with. We have yellow hydraulic, spoilers 2 and 4, wing anti-ice, Cat 3 dual, engine 2 bleed, reverser 2, pack 2, cargo door, generator 2, Yellow engine 2 pump, yaw dampener 2. Clear status, clear status. All right, we're activating secondary. Let's go ahead and get a line off of Shand 079, insert, select heading. Fenix 357, turn right, heading 130, vector for the ILS, descend and maintain 6,000. Descend and maintain 6,000. 130, 6,000 for Fenix 357. All right, we're getting ready for the approach. Let's go ahead and get flaps 1. Flaps 1 is going to give us a little more buffer there with our VLS. We're going to go back to perf. We're going to activate, confirm the approach phase. We are going to land flaps 3. We'll get the overhead, flap mode 3, confirmed. Status again, because we just deployed flaps, clear status. Fenix 357, turn right, heading 160. Right turn 160, descend and maintain 5,000. Descend and maintain 5,000, 160, Fenix 357. We have slow flaps, so let's go ahead and get speed coming back right now. 180 on the speed. And we're going to configure right now. We're going to mitigate this. I don't want to be hanging out here longer than I have to. So flaps 2 coming out. See how slow they are? That's associated with our hydraulic failure, not our engine failure. We get our LS push buttons on. This is why we have it all set up in the secondary, right? It makes it a lot easier. Let's continue to slow here, 160. And Fenix 357, descend and maintain 4,000. Maintain 4,000 till established. Turn right, heading 190. Cleared for the ILS, 26 left approach. Crash, fire, and rescue, be standing by. All right, so we've got the airplane set up to intercept. I'm going to extend flaps 3 here because we're a little bit behind profile. Let's go ahead and notify. Company already knows we're coming back most likely, so we would tell tower, hey, make sure everybody knows we're coming back. Make a PA. Well, first I'd call the flight attendants too. We're going to let them know, hey, emergency call on the flight attendants. You guys probably heard that engine pop there on the departure. We're going to be back on the ground here in 5 minutes. I don't anticipate using the brace command. I don't have any special instructions for you at this time. We'll talk to you on the ground. All right, sounds good. You got 3 minutes. Cool. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Everybody's been notified. Flight attendants have been briefed. And Fenix 357, that was a bad vector. Let's go ahead and make it heading 200 to join. Heading 200 to join Fenix 357. We're 160, flaps 3. We're landing flaps 3. Gear to go. We're below the slope. Locus arm. Glide slope blue. Cat 3 single. Autopilot 1-2 check. All right, we're getting ready to get down here at 4,000 feet. Now, in the go-around, I talked to the FO on this one, say, hey, we're hot and heavy. We barely just climbed out of that last one there with one engine. I really don't want to go around. I'm not going to go for style points. We're going to put this down on the pavement in the touchdown zone. We're going to use low brakes. Actually, we'll use medium. Well, let's use medium brakes on this one to get us down and stopped.
2,500.
Medium auto brakes, symmetrical braking. Now, I don't have time to go into the comm. If we had time to go into the comm, then you could run some additional procedures. Really what it's going to tell you to, the only thing that's going to, just from experience, the only thing that the comm is going to tell you to do that the ECAM is not telling you to do here would be to run the APU bleed depending which engine has failed if you blew the bottle. That's the only difference. All right, Lokestar, and we're going to hand fly Reeland inbound. I'm going to get flight recorder up and running. AJ, thanks for the $3 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Says, good thing you're not on VATS and no controllers. I know, right? Amen to that. It's going to stutter here while I get flight recorder up. I want to say it's engine 2. I would close. I feel like I should shut the crossplay, but I don't have time to pull out the comm right now, so we're going to leave it as is. All right, recording is on. Let's go ahead and manage speed. Gear down. We're landing flaps 3. That was me messing with the bleed page. Gears coming down. VAP is 137 on config 3. Landing weight, we're below max. Landing weight 131. Glide slope start, go around altitude. We're just going to set 5,000, but like I said, I don't plan on going around. Does that look like 2.6 right to you? Am I going crazy? Or are we lining up on 2.6 right? Oh, chat. Critical error. LS mismatch. Because of our hard-tuned localizer. Whoo. That's one I've never done before. Okay, I'm glad that happened in the sim. Remember, we hard-tuned the 2.6 right localizer? We hard-tuned it. All right, we got to hand fly this anyway for sim purposes, so autopilot's coming off. Spicy. That is a heck of a gotcha. I don't know why I've never done that before, Matthew Presley. I guess you don't think of the clear and copy out of 10. I don't know if y'all do that, but spicy. All right, so I'm really interested to see how this here feels with this single engine in the terms of yaw. I probably should have tested this before doing it live. I do know the glide slope is fixed with default scenery, even though you're landing on the side of a mountain here.
100 above.
Inside landing.
Minimum. 100.
Gotta go down this hill here.
50. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Oh, look at it yaw the other direction. Oh, that's great. Single reverse. We'll just keep it in idle reverse. 70 knots. We could use it down to aircraft stop. Park brake set, flight attendant stations. Okay. What do we do now, chat? Seat comes back. Smoke them if you got them. Take a breath. What's our next steps? So, crash, fire, and rescue. Be rolling up the aircraft. The Fenix 357 contact fire marshal on 21.5, whatever it is. Go ahead, flip over. Fire marshal Fenix 357. Yeah, we're looking at your number 2 engine there. No indication of a fire right now, but you are leaking a lot of fluid. Would advise that you shut down engine number 1 as well. Whatever it may be, so we come in here, remain seated, remain seated, remain seated, and then we would shut down and either disembark or do what is whatever we figure out. So, all right, not bad. I should have timed that from that 14 minutes. So that's 14 minutes from when I went to Toga, right? So we took off and landed in, well, let's just call it 15 minutes, probably a minute after takeoff I hit that. So in 15 minutes, we went from an engine failure, which led to a hydraulic failure, and a return back to Las Vegas. We got the proper spoilers coming up. I will say, I can definitely feel that yaw. We'll have to look at it in the replay here. Let's watch it. When I went to idle, the engine or the airplane will yaw the direction that you have all this trim in there, because you trim it out. If you saw me after takeoff, I was trim. You're trimming for that dead engine and the operating engine at high thrust. Well, as you come to idle, guess what? You don't need that trim anymore. So some guys will come down here and hit the trim reset right into the flare. I don't personally do that because I don't like having these big yaw moments go right over the threshold when I'm in the flare. I'd rather just kind of manually adjust it with my feet. But I think, honestly, I think that's the first time I've felt that yaw moment in Microsoft Flight Sim. So that is pretty dang cool. Let's see how we did on the replay. What I miss? AJ Funari, thank you for the time for me to grab my bags and evac, of course. Yeah, please don't grab your bags during the evacuation. Thank you, Matt. Migs with the 2 Canadian VATSIM controllers punching air right now. Oh man. All right, let's see how we did here on the replay. I always reset the trim on approach and just hold rudder on short final. That's the way to do it, Sam. I mean, however you want to do it, however your book allows it, is the right way, right? Let's get these back down. Put you back up to like right about here. So our flaps 3, we're coming in. I want to see if we can see this yaw moment here. Back when I was flying the 7.6, I would take the rudder trim out on final to avoid that. No idea why I did it. Then it made the landing more comfortable. Interesting. Yeah, I just, for some reason, I've always felt it more comfortable to just leave it in. And as I bring the rudder, or as I bring the power out, I use my rudder to kind of keep it straight. Lower it off, arrest that descent rate. Just hold it. Not bad. I'll take that. Auto brakes are grabbing. We're going to have a single reverse. Oh, I guess I have to deploy it. Single reverse. We got the 3 spoilers. Look at that. That's awesome. All right. Buck Rogers, this is the Flightbox V3. The Fenix Flightbox V3. All right. I like that. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's reset the aircraft. Let's, matter of fact, let's just reload it. It'll be quick. And then we're going to practice a couple of RTOs right now with tools. So we're going to reset. And then we're going to start in on the runway. So let me get everything set here. Get the park brake on. Let's go 26 right, and let's go back to live time, live weather. Beautiful. Back when I already read that one. I should try to see it if I like it more. Yeah. I don't know. Because I've only left the auto thrust on in the Airbus. In the Embraers, I always turn the auto thrust off in the E-Jet because I felt like the E-Jet thrust movement was too much and it was always causing the yaw when you're coming down on final. So I like to know when that yaw is happening by manually moving the thrust. So, but the Airbus, for some reason, I keep the auto thrust on. I seem to like it better. And I leave that rudder trim in there too. Alright, so we're going to everything come to life here. It's 32C outside. So let's set ourselves up for RTO practice. Let's go mass and balance. We're going to load us up now. We're going to be heavy. Full load just about. We'll take some cargo. Oh, we're in Queen units here. We need to go back. We need to go back to Freedom units. Alright, cool. Now I can figure out what we're doing. Weight and balance 180. Let's go ahead and reset. So we're going cross country. It'll be heavy. Plan 0 fuel. Really? There we go. We're nice and heavy. We'll send these numbers to the McDo. Real quick, let's just pretend we're doing this flight. Amir is here. What's up? The runway LS mismatch triggered a McDo message. I did see it. We displayed it to just now if you review, but I think there was a lot going on and you cleared through it. Yeah, I did see it. I do remember seeing it. I just cleared through it, and I don't know why it didn't register with me. But that's pretty funny that he lined up on the wrong freaking runway. But hey, considering we're just doing it all single pilot here anyway, I'll accept that. I'll accept that failure point. But I'm glad I did it. I'm actually really glad I did that, because now, guess what? I'll never do that again. Well, I shouldn't say never. I'll tell you this: I won't do it in the sim next week. That's for dang sure. I won't do it in the sim next week. But yeah, I did see the runway LS mismatch. Yep. All right, so weights are sent. Let's do a quick takeoff. We'll do Las Vegas. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter, but you know what? I want to try 26 right, dry, calculate, send to McDo, but we're going to Toga this. What could we trigger an RTO on here? Let's do an engine failure. A bird strike. Let's do a bird strike, and it pressurizes the reverser. So we did it right last time. Let's do left bird strike. We're going to arm it at, what are our V speeds? 155. So we're going to arm it 10 below that would be 140. We're going to arm it at 140. So we're going to arm the bird strike at 140. We're going to have an engine failure. Now I'm going to leave the failure going. I'm going to have reverser pressurized, no, reverser unlocked, armed at 140 as well. We'll get simultaneous. Actually, we'll do 141, so it's 1 second after. Let's see what this looks like. So we should have a reverser unlock and a bird strike before V1. Alright. And then, alright, I like that. Let's see how she runs. Alright, let's go ahead and get this set up. Reset U. Alright, it's 1FD2. Nav is blue. I don't have climbing there. Let's go auto brakes max. Takeoff config check. Oh yeah, that would help. Alright, flaps are position 1. Constraint modes, terrain. Boom, boom. Takeoff config test. And we'll just throw that on for semantics. Alright. Fenix 357 clear for takeoff. We're going to do this in a Toga, so we have the maximum asymmetrical thrust. Mantoga, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check. Engine failure. Reject. I have control. One in reverse. Decel. 70 knots. Manual braking. Flight attendant stations. Alright, engine 1 fail. I thought we would go through the procedures. Alright. Oh man, I should have recorded that. Dang it. I should have recorded that. Ah, that would have looked sick. Look at that. So that was, we're down, RTO'd, a little off center line there towards the end. We got our stop. Here comes our brake temps. Again, he says, again. Trying to think what else we're going to do here real quick. If I do another RTO. I want to do, I'm trying to say the red. So they're coming up pretty quick. They are coming up. Brake temps are still Timu, says Turk. Oh, get out of here, dude. They're coming up pretty quick, dude. But 32C, 151,000 pounds. That was a spicy one. That actually felt real good. That That yaw on the shutdown there was pretty good. Yeah, they're coming up. I feel like they would be coming up faster. I feel like they'd be coming up faster, to be honest with you. I still don't know. I don't know. I feel like they come up. It's 140 knots there. All right. Let's see. Let's reset. Amir says, I haven't reviewed brake temps yet, due for a different rework soon. Excellent. Okay, so they're going to rework it. So I don't know what it would get to here, but I got to believe that they would be coming up faster. So, yeah, looks like it is on the list. Way to put your foot in your mouth, Turk. All right, thanks, Amir. Appreciate that. All right, what else can we do? Let's do one more thing. We do have to do the RNAV visual Newark, but I don't want to do that right now. Let's reset. Let's end, and we're gonna actually, let's just do that. Let's just restart from the starting point. I'll bring us right back to where we were.
Las Vegas Tower, Airbus November 877 Sierra Delta.
How do I shut off default
right, ready
ATC?
for departure.
Can I shut off
Depart straight
ATC?
out.
The default ATC? Alright, let's wait for everything to load back in here. Hopefully it'll load in. It's in assistances. Nuke default ATC. That's what we need to shut off. You know what? I had it on for career mode. That's what it is. Assistances. ATC. AI radio comm is off. They're off. Huh. Was it in sound? I looked in sound. I didn't see it. Aircraft copy one to aircraft. I don't see it here. Yeah. Character voices? Oh, character voices. Thank you. Alright, so we've done that. Should we try to do a quick... Well, I don't want to do a no flap, no slat. Let's do a jip whiz. I'll tell you what. Let's blast off and let's do a jip whiz maneuver, and then we will do the RNAV visual, perhaps. So let's just do a quick Las Vegas to Las Vegas. I was trying to get... We're actually ahead of schedule here, so I'm kind of out of blank. I gotta see what time my kids are going to swim, so give me a second. Coming back, we plan the RNAV. 19er left. 19er right. RNAV 19er right. 19er left to Victor. Approach via Turk. Thanks for that too, super chat. P3D port devs should take notes. The sim limitations. Exactly. All right, we've got that insert from Penn. Las Vegas will just depart on the 26 right on the Joker 5. Beautiful. We'll insert that. Let's just get some fake weights in here. Ground cervices, mass and balance. Be a little bit heavier. 145 right at max. Apply, unload. Instantly. Send that to the McDo. Perf takeoff. We're just gonna, we don't care about it. I'll put my own speeds in there. 145. 150. 155. Flaps 1. And hold on real quick. I gotta text the wife about the swim lesson time. All right, we're good. Let's plan something that would cause us to come back, but not an engine failure. Actually, you know what? Vibration. Engine too high. We're going to arm it, but we're not going to do it until we get above 3,500 feet. I got an idea. Wheel will fire. Will I change? Oh, unreliable airspeed. So that will have us come back, and then that's fine by me, because I want to do like a maneuver or two. So full electrical failure, maybe soon on the next one. This one is just to knock the rust off. All right, 4,000 is set. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config is checked. Boom, 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 boom. I gotta get rid of the company massage. We'll do a little maneuvering right now is what we'll do. Because it'd actually be kind of good. So that's set. Terrain on ND. Boom, boom. Let's make this nighttime. Make it nighttime. Midnight, just about. 4 in the morning. Coming in on a red eye in Las Vegas. Let's go. We're gonna jip whiz ourselves and do some maneuvering. Here we go. Pull them up. Man, Toga thrust, runway auto thrust blue. $100 knots, check. Look at those EGTs, man. 586, I love it. Welcome to Vegas. V1 rotate. Positive brake, gear up, nav it, fly with. Wow, that is quite the glow there, default Microsoft. Three for 4. Speed alt star. This car will maintain 6,000. Look at that reduction sound. Thrust climb up, climb navs. Flap 0, speed check. Golly. That sound, though, was awesome. Alright, what I want to do is set us up for a TCAS, not a TCAS, jip whiz. See, Fenix 357, turn right, heading 230, stop the climb. Maintain 5,000. 5,000, 230 on the heading for Fenix 357. So let's say we're flying along. chilling. Flying into the night on a heading. We're talking to ATC. Not getting the warm and fuzzies.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Man, Toga. Full aft stick if necessary. Pin it back. Look at that. Jeez. That is insane. All right, we're clear. Recover. Watch that speed. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's go ahead and bug 250. Put the autopilot back on, descend 3,000. We're going to turn this direction. Got a jip whiz out of the way. Whew. Migs dropped the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. We're going to get configured here. Actually, let's make it 6,000. We're going to do a set of steep turns. Set up on heading 180. We'll do a set of steep turns here. To make this real sim-like, we'll turn off these lights here. So you gotta rely on your PFD. But thank you, Migs, for the 5 gifted sub bomb. Alright, we're gonna do a set of steep turns, left and right. Actually, let's get us going the right direction. Let's come northbound because we're gonna do the RNAV visual after this. Come back to the left. Hoping a V1 roller coasters. Thanks, Migs. Yeah, that's one you never want to get. So the instructors are really nasty. So they'll give you a TCAS. So you descend, and you're complying with the TCAS RA, and then you'll get a terrain. So you go straight from an RA to a jip whiz. So jip whiz memory items, autopilot off, Toga, full aft stick, check the track, no change config. Alright, as we make the turn out here, we're going to do a set of steep turns. 090 is fine. I got to bind the autopilot off button. But I can't do it until sim update 2 drops because it's annoying as hell. Alright, give me the bird. Bird is on. We're close enough. Let's start him here at 080. I like to start my steep turns by going to the left. So let's roll it in. Remember, we're going to keep the auto thrust on for this one. Don't have to. Roll it in. A little more bank. Maintain 6,000. Lock it in. A little bit more bank there. Gosh, that feels real. I mean, that feels real. The amount of pressure I got to use. I love the Moza on this. Watch that pitch. Remember, if you start increasing your bank a little bit too much, you're going to have more pitch. There you go. Keeping her locked in there. We'll come all the way to 270, and then when we get to 260
Terrain
here,
ahead. Terrain ahead.
we're going to ignore that jip whiz.
Terrain ahead.
Never ignore that. We're bad, doing
Terrain
negative training.
ahead.
As we come out, see how it floats?
Terrain
That's accurate.
ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
This was a bad choice to do the steep turn here right over the terrain.
Ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
Got me so nervous. All right, back to the left. Let's come back down to 6,000.
1,000.
Don't want to hear that. Get us back down to 6,000 feet here. A little too much there, a little too much. As we roll out, we'll little bit of forward pressure so you don't float her back up. Right where we started. Deviated 100 foot there, but that 1,000 foot and the pool up there kind of got me off put me off a little bit. All right, rebuild the automation. Actually, screw it. Let's try I wasn't planning on doing this today, but let's see how it feels in alternate law. So now we're in alternate law. We'll go ahead and bring the power to idle. I'm going to pitch up about 10 degrees or so to kind of accelerate the deceleration of airspeed. Speed continues to decay. There's VLS. And now V alpha max. Pitch trim is inhibited, which it is. There's a stall warning, so technically right now we could recover. If you continue to hold full aft, you will start the aircraft. So stall, I have control. Lower the nose. We gotta be gentle here. We're right below the ground. We're already at a VLS. Look at that spool up time for the IAEs. All right, now let's go ahead and be easy on the recovery. Not bad. And for the sake of testing purposes, let's throw the gear and go into direct law. I'm just curious, see how she flies in direct law. Would you feel that in your seat? Absolutely. We're below 250, gear's coming down. Alright, in direct law, well, we should be in direct law. So we are alternate law, geared down. We should be in direct law here. We'd get a man pitch trim here.
Stall.
See how, well, it's definitely flying like it's in direct law. See how quick and pitchy it is? That's because you have a direct relationship between flight control and side stick. The only other time you would have this is in normal law on the ground.
Stall.
I mean, it feels pretty sensitive, as it should. All right, let's go ahead into direct law stall, power to idle, 10 degrees. Can you guys hear me? You got like 6 frames? It should be coming back. I just ran a speed test. I don't know what's going on. We should be back. You can hear me? I mean, everything is running. I mean, even I did a speed test. Everything on the speed test seemed good too. Oh, we are back? All right. YouTube might be cooking. It might be a YouTube thing. Because I haven't had any, like, everything's stayed up and running. Alright. Left Terry's nuked my internet? Jesus. That's all right. We're just in time for the RNAV visual back to runway 6. All right, let's go ahead and get our self set up for that. It's going to be 10:15. Barrel, we're going to set 600 feet above touchdown, so that's going to be, if it's 2,000 feet, it's going to be 2,600 for the autopilot. Temperature is 3.2. Winds are basically calm, 040. We're going to do the RNAV visual 19 or left. And we'll start it at Penn, so let's go ahead and proceed to 110. Let's get this back on. Speed out heading. Activate, confirm the approach phase. VAP is 139 on flaps full. Alright. I don't know. I don't know why it would have cut out on y'all like that. But we're back. We've got the LDEV, VDEV. We'll hand fly the RNAV approach for 19 or left, starting just outside of Penn here. Turn down some of my integral lighting. Are you sure you aren't back in Noonan? It feels like it, doesn't it, Mr. Martini? Good night. All right. Let's go ahead and extend flaps 1. Speed checks flaps 1. Keep coming around the mountain here towards Penn. Have you considered adding EGPR to the Euro Tour? I haven't thought anything about the Euro Tour yet, man. I've got too much on my mind right now. All right. We're back and we're cooking. Let's do an evac when we land. I'm trying to see if I can do a fire protection. Engine 2, unextinguishable fire. We're going to arm that. After landing, apply. Alright. Alright. Oop, turn direct Penn. Alright, here we go. Direct Penn. Redirect it one more time. Cleared for the approach. We'll final lap. Oh, that's terrible. Manual. Turn it this way. If FADEC were to fail, what would happen with the thrust engines? We'd go into, it depends on the type of failure, man. You go into unrated N1 mode. Or rated N1 mode. Flaps 2. We're at 6,000. I'm going to redirect us one more time. Redirect. Insert. Open descent down to 6. Here we go. Down below 6. Come on, baby. We'll set 5,300 here because we're a little high. Keep coming down. See if we can get a final lap. All right, app nav final is blue. We're 180. Flaps 2. Final lap captured. Missed approach altitude. We'll set 4,000 feet blue. Final lap. Here we go. Are the overhead lights real? Yeah, they look pretty good to me. It's kind of an older one, like with the orangish glow. Some have a little lighter glow or a more yellowish tint. All right, here we go. LDEV. Oh, speed brake. We're going to hand fly you. Here we go. This will be good practice for tomorrow or for later today when we go to Pasto in the 319 again. It's going to be fun. I'm hoping we get to do the turn. We'll do a Bogota turn in the 319 IAEs. $2 buffering, please wait. Thank you, Key 6. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for the $2 super chat, dude. Much appreciated. All right, we got 180 max at D-Pig, which we're already there. This is actually a slightly faster descent, so I'm going to go ahead and bring us back another 10 knots here. Stay ahead of the game. And we'll start the recording as well. Recording is on. And let's go manual thrust. I don't have my auto thrust disconnect, instinctive disconnects push buttons pushed. I don't have it bound. I don't have anything bound because we're still in sim update 2.
2,500.
All right, let's go manage speed, gear down. Flaps 3, speed checks, flaps 3. Speed checks, flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust off, ECAM memo. Landing all green, landing checklist complete. At or above 35, we're looking good. One niner left is in sight. Magic Barrel ref update here. Put us a little bit high. The app speed is super low. Let's target something low. Let's target 144 because I don't have an FO to change it in the box for me. Runway's in sight. Auto flight director's off. Give me the bird. Bird's in chat. Brought us in a little bit low, didn't it? Alright, we'll let the VDEV fall away. 2 whites, 2 reds.
Minimum 500.
Gosh, this airport looks terrible at night. The lights are all wonky.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. V-cell. Engine 2 fire. Stand by. 70 knots. Fenix 357 declaring an emergency. We're stopping on the runway. Park brake is set. Flight attendant stations. Engine 2 fire. Alright, ATC's notified cabin crew alert. Engine 2 master off. We're on the ground. Engine 2 master comes off. We're still running. Let's see. Engine 2 fire push button push. Engine 2 fire push button push. We don't do verifies on the ground. Agent 1 discharge. Agent 2 discharge. Agent 1 discharge. Agent 2 discharge. Alright, emergency evac apply. Let's see, crash fire and rescue, Fenix 357. Fenix 357, yeah, your engine 2 is on fire. I highly suggest that you evacuate the aircraft. Roger, evacuate the aircraft. We're going to be evacuating aircraft left. Alright, so before I do that though, I'd have my actual checklist out. I'm pulling out my checklist right now because I want to go through the checklist. I want to go through the emergency evacuation checklist. if I can find it. There it is, EMER evac checklist. All right, so it would have been much quicker. You just pull it out. So EMER evac checklist, the FO read, challenge and response, captain, repeat, response, and perform. Aircraft parking brake, stop on. Crew PA, flight attendant stations, we did that. ATC's been notified. Delta P only if cabin pressure has been used, does not apply. Engine master 1 and 2 off. Engine fire push buttons, engine and APU push. Engine fire, engine and APU push. Now, actually, captain's dome light would come on there. We could have done that. That would have been the FO's, part of the FO's flow. They're both pushed. Discharge if necessary. No reason to discharge it in the APU or the engine 1. If evacuation is required, it is. Crew PA, evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. So we'd come down here, evacuate, evacuate, evacuate. And then we'd come right up here and hit the EMER call. Or no, excuse me. The evacuation command. And then we'd kill the horn so we wouldn't have to listen to the beeps. So we're evacuating on the ground. It sounded like a door opened up in there. It did. Oh, you did. I did hear the doors open up. All right, we're done. And on that note, I got to get rid of this nighttime mode because it's kind of gross. Not gonna lie, kind of gross. And just like that, we evacuated. We stopped on the runway, and we're shut down and secure. I don't know, where are the slides? We need slides. Okay. Chat. I'm good with that. That's a good knock the rester off. All right, let's go ahead and dismiss that. I'm going to just put us to ready state. We'll see that landing. And I'm going to get out of here. We're just going to reset to ready state. We'll activate you. Park brake is coming back on. Doors are closing up. Whew, Blackbird Controls, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Blackbird, my man, good to see you, dude. Appreciate the 10 gifted subs. Hope you're doing well. And hope those special... Oh, you know what? Hope those that secret tiller project is working out, man. Can't wait to see what you've been cooking the last couple of days because I know you've been quiet. So thanks again for the support, dude. All right, close those, just to give us a replay. Oh, look, the rat's out now. We don't have any gens on. What the heck? Oh, we screwed that up, huh? We'll get our engines back. Never did get the high vibe. At least I don't think so. We're still on EMER. That's alright. We're fine. We'll watch the landing like this. Christmas mode. Does your real Airbus click when it goes into replay mode? Yeah, it does actually. It does actually. Alright, I've got to wrap this one up here because I got to take my little girls to swim. But we got through our first little series of failures. I think we did pretty good. We got the V1 cut in there. We got the hydraulic ECAM. Got through that. We did the whole V1 thing with the single engine landing. That was the key. We did a couple. We ran out of time, or we ran out of things to do. So we did a little bonus, RNAV visual, some steep turns, fly around, alternate law rather. So all right. Now the next one. Not today, but the next one on Thursday is going to be much more practical. We're actually going to go A to B, and then we're going to throw in some en route failures. I would really like to practice an electrical failure, because that's one that, or a smoke rather, like a smoke in the cockpit, and then get down to the emergency electrical configuration, and then recover just before landing. That one is quite the doozy. So I want to do that one. Probably on Thursday. But later today, we do have the Pasto Challenge going into Pasto, Colombia with the Avianca 319. That'll be a much more laid-back, easy flight. I might throw in something interesting if I can find something in the failures book. But, that's going to wrap this one up. I always apologize after these because I feel like I don't get to talk to anyone in the chat, but I'm flying around with my hair on fire trying to keep the airplane flying single pilot, fake radio talking and all that stuff. So until the next one, I will see you guys. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you in a couple hours. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.